rate. So if you're multiplying it by 60 times, that would just be 60 divided by 8 multiplied by 1. So that's how you deal with those type of questions. Remember, those probability types of questions, when you're asking how many times has something happened and how many times would you expect it, you take the probability and you multiply it by the number. Okay, that's a key thing to remember. Okay, now that's question 11. Let me put that back up there. Question 12 is a ratio question. It's fairly straightforward because we know with ratio what we do is we add up all the parts, we divide the big number by the parts to give us an answer, and we multiply it by the parts. Okay, so we take this 8 and then we divide 292 by 8, which gives us 36.5, and we multiply that, and we multiply that, and we multiply that. Now, a lot of people lost 1 mark because when you put that in the calculator, it gives you 36.5, and that gives you 109.5. But boys and girls, this is money. We must put in 0. 36.50, 109.50. You've got to be very careful with money that you put in the 2 decimal places. Otherwise, you'd lose a mark for that. And then that leads us lovely to the last question, which is a question that's got to do with mass. Mass, density, volume. Monkeys driving vans. Okay, now this type of question, there's a key hint here. If they're asking you to find density or mass, then you must find the volume. Now, generally speaking, to find the volume, the volume is always the area of the front multiplied by the length or the height. They generally, I've noticed, have always given you the area. So to find the volume, all you do is you multiply the area with the front of it, which is 60, times the length, which is 23. And that gives you a volume of 1380 centimeters cubed. Now that's a good hint. If it was a normal volume question, you'd find the volume is normal. So for example, if it was a normal volume like this, you'd find the area of the triangle, which is base times height divided by 2. 4 2s is 8, so that would be 4. Multiplied by, say, 10, which would be 40 centimeters cubed. That's a normal volume question. But a real hint is, if it's a mass and density volume question, to find the volume, you multiply the area of the front times that. This normally would actually be given for you. So you multiply them 2 numbers to give you that. Now, you're looking to find the density. So you cover density on the triangle. So that's mass divided by volume. The mass is given as 8,600. The volume we've worked out to be 1,380. So mass divided by volume is 8600 divided by 1380, which gives you an answer 6.23. Rounded to 1 decimal place is 6.2 or 6. And that's how you deal with those sort of questions. So I'm going to say again, for mass, density, volume, you must calculate the volume. You must do that. That's the first thing you must do. And a real hint is that you multiply the area. They'll normally, touch wood, give you the area, which is great. And all you do is multiply by that. Write that sum in somewhere so you have the volume written. Then you cover the density because we're looking for density. So it's then mass divided by volume. So mass is 8,600 divided by our volume, which we worked out at 1380, to give you an answer of 6.2. If we were looking for mass, if we didn't know mass, that would be density multiplied by volume. If we were looking for volume, it'd be mass divided by density. Remember the key phrase, it's monkeys driving vans. Picture a monkey driving a van. That question will appear at the tail end of the paper. A mass, density, volume. It's a wee bit like the speed distance time triangle. Okay, so just to reiterate, with that type of question, look for the area, multiply it by the length, that gives you the volume. Once you work out the volume, you use your triangle to work it out. So for example, if it was something like this, if it was, let me see if I change my pen here. If we had something like this, trapezium base prism, and let's say the area of this front was, 50, and the length of it was 10, then the volume of that would be 50 times 10, which is 500. If we knew the mass, they normally give you the mass. If the mass was 11,000, then to find the density is covered, so mass divided by volume, so that would now be 11,000 divided by 500, which we worked out, and then that gives us an answer of 11%. 11. Let's just hit the calculator. Gives you an answer of 22. So the density for that would have been 22. Be very careful. Go back over that in your mind to be clear what that question's involving. Mass, density, volume means generally calculating the volume first. Okay, thank you.